The simplicity of it.
That's excellent.
A good investment.
It's the real deal.
I learned more in 3 hours than I did in 5 years of high school and college.
Elizabeth Dupree, Lexington, Kentucky.
Awesome. What's your son's name?
James Dupree.
And how old is he?
He's 18.
Keith Stallmaker, just south of Cleveland, Ohio.
Awesome. How old's your son?
My son's 11.
Ken Campbell, I'm from New Jersey. My son's 19.
I'm Cherie Hughes and from Scottsbluff, Nebraska.
Awesome. How old's your son?
Evan's 18.
Trying to figure out what James was doing with his, or not doing with his lower body. He wasn't using his hips at all. He wasn't using his core. He was completely leaking velocity. He was all arm. And so we retooled his mechanics. After we retooled his mechanic, he and the pitching coach that I had help him, his velocity started falling. And that's frustrating, just after you've worked so hard and you've done everything you thought you were supposed to
Not
do,
see the results.
and to actually be going backwards.
I think something that Kenny's been struggling with for the last few years is he feels like he had more energy that he can get out of his body. He just could not figure out the mechanics of it.
At an important recruiting time, scouts were coming to look at him, and essentially talking to the travel coach and saying, "Why did you send me to see this kid? You know, he's not." Well, he was almost there. He was 2 miles an hour off, and he was falling backwards.
Evan wanting velocity, more control.
His travel team mates were saying, "James, you could hit 90 if you just used your legs," and the frustration of trying to, he'd lift his hip more, and he'd turn, and he'd twist.
The comment Kenny made was, I learned more in 3 hours than I did in 5 years of high school and college.
The simplicity of the movement.
I think the volume of information that he gave them, and us, that he wanted parents there.
It was more movement and strength. I thought it was polar opposite my whole life.
What's fascinating to me is to watch the drills that go along that train the mind to tell the body what to do.
It's just the fine details that he's covering but yet they're so simple.
Velo control, I've been able, I was going out there and I was being able to hit my spots almost every time on the net.
It's the simplicity of it. They're able to absorb it at 11. You know, my son at 19 picked it up right away.
And then watching it all kind of progress and start to fit together. And then yesterday, I fortunately was videoing something and saw an aha moment. You know, and when you see it, the kid's face light up.
It's almost like going to school, right? Lance is the professor and everybody's a student.
That it's definitely worth going, and it's something that it will be very different from what they've ever experienced.
If you have a kid that wants to learn and wants to get better in pitching, and we talked about hitting, just how to use your body more efficiently, this is definitely a good investment.
It's definitely worthwhile. It's worth the time and the investment.
It's the real deal. Simply, it is the real deal. There's so much hogwash out there, and there's so much online that you find, and it's a bunch of hot air. And it's a suck-in to
Make money.
spend another $395 or whatever. And this is the real deal.
I call it religion. Like if you want pitching religion, this is where you come.
Into the summer season, he said, "I'm not going to play anymore. I'm done. It's too stressful. I can't do this." I see the light again. The light's on. That light bulb, that's Lance's light bulb, there's a reason for that.